Dostoevsky and Nietzsche have both been very influential. Dostoevsky with his deep affection for Christianity, and Nietzsche who seems to have had a bone to pick with certain interpretations of it. But hold on, Nietzsche's disdain wasn't just for Christianity, it was more like a beef with how some folks were twisting its message into something rigid and one-dimensional. And Dostoevsky? Well, he was orthodox through and through, though his religious views might have taken a few unexpected paths along the way. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Nietzsche wasn't just anti-Christianity. He had a whole laundry list of isms he wasn't too keen on, including nationalism. But Dostoevsky? He might have had a soft spot for Russian nationalism, which you can catch a glimpse of in his writings. It's like he wanted Russia to have its own space, separate from the rest of Europe. I wonder where that came from, huh? Maybe it was his distaste for atheism stirring up some patriotic feelings. But here's the thing. Despite their religious differences, these two might have found some common ground on other stuff. Nietzsche even knew Dostoevsky, but he kept his lips sealed, which is kind of like a respectful nod in the world of philosophical debates. Fyodor Dostoevsky emerged into the world in 1821, nestled in the outskirts of Moscow, born into the embrace of a middle-class family. Fyodor Dostoevsky's upbringing was steeped in the raw realities of human suffering. His father's work among the Russian poor exposed young Dostoevsky to the daily struggles of the downtrodden, laying the groundwork for the poignant themes that would permeate his literary masterpieces. Friedrich Nietzsche, on the other hand, encountered suffering of a different kind through his father's role as a village priest. Nietzsche's early years were marked by existential and religious contemplation, setting the stage for his later philosophical inquiries. While Dostoevsky's father aimed for his son to pursue a career in the hard sciences, it was the tales spun by his mother and nanny that captured Dostoevsky's imagination, particularly the satirical works of Nikolai Gogol. In contrast, Nietzsche's familial lineage of priests pointed him toward theology, yet an encounter with Ludwig Feuerbach's radical notions in The Essence of Christianity steered Nietzsche away from religious pursuits and toward the study of language and philosophy. Dostoevsky's formative years were marked by a sense of alienation, from his time as an outsider at a French boarding school to his days at a military academy where he witnessed firsthand the social inequities that fueled his later activism. Joining the socialist Petrushevsky circle, Dostoevsky sought to challenge the status quo and advocate for a more egalitarian society, only to face the harsh realities of exile and imprisonment following his arrest for political activities. Meanwhile, Nietzsche's path to intellectual prominence was smoother, with a scholarly trajectory that saw him excel in theology before embracing the study of language and philosophy. His appointment as a university professor at a remarkably young age attested to his brilliance, yet Nietzsche's restless spirit and health concerns led him on a nomadic journey of contemplation and writing. Dostoevsky's return to civilization after a decade in Siberian exile marked a prolific period of literary output, with novels like Crime and Punishment, and The Brothers Karamazov, cementing his legacy as one of literature's most profound voices. Despite financial struggles and personal hardships, Dostoevsky remained steadfast in his exploration of the human condition until his death in 1881. In contrast, Nietzsche's tenure as a professor in Basel gave way to a decade of wandering and writing, culminating in a descent into madness that would overshadow his final years. Unmarried and childless, Nietzsche's legacy endures through his groundbreaking philosophical works, characterized by their unconventional style and profound insights into human nature. Dostoevsky's literary repertoire primarily consists of novels that serve as vessels for his philosophical musings. Poor Folk, his debut work, delves into the class disparities of Russian society, setting the stage for his subsequent explorations. Notes from Underground challenges modern rationality, exposing the irrational underbelly of human existence. Crime and Punishment paints a bleak picture of a godless world, with its protagonist grappling with the consequences of his morally dubious actions. The Idiot and Demons continue to dissect the societal ills wrought by radical ideologies, foreshadowing the tumultuous events of the Russian Revolution. Finally, The Brothers Karamazov stands as Dostoevsky's magnum opus, interweaving complex philosophical debates within the framework of a gripping family drama, ultimately laying bare the destructive potential of modern rationality and radical ideas. Nietzsche's oeuvre unfolds as a philosophical odyssey, beginning with The Birth of Tragedy, where he reinterprets ancient Greek civilization through the lens of tragedy, positing an alternative to the rationalist tradition embodied by Socrates. Human, all too human, and The Gay Science lay the groundwork for Nietzsche's critique of modernity, culminating in Thus Spoke Zarathustra, a philosophical novel that heralds the arrival of the Übermensch, a figure who transcends conventional morality and embraces the eternal recurrence of all things. Beyond Good and Evil and On the Genealogy of Morality further challenge traditional notions of morality, while Ecce Homo serves as Nietzsche's introspective reflection on his own philosophical journey, encapsulating his critique of Western philosophy's shortcomings. In the 19th century, big changes were happening in Europe. Science, led by Darwin's ideas, started to challenge traditional religious beliefs, making more people question the existence of God. Meanwhile, during the Enlightenment, people thought reason and logic could replace religion and lead to progress and happiness. But as time went on, it became clear that just being rational wasn't enough to make life meaningful. Dostoevsky and Nietzsche, two thinkers of that time, were concerned about this. They wondered, if there's no God to tell us what's right or wrong, what gives our lives purpose? Dostoevsky, through his stories like Notes from Underground and Crime and Punishment, showed how a world without God could lead to moral confusion and despair. His characters struggled with questions of right and wrong in a society where there were no clear answers. Nietzsche, inspired by Schopenhauer, criticized the over-reliance on reason in Western society. He believed it stifled our passions and creativity, making life dull and uninspiring. Dostoevsky suggested turning back to religion, particularly Orthodox Christianity, as a way to find meaning beyond rationality. He thought love and faith could fill the void left by the absence of God. Nietzsche, however, saw creativity and passion as the key to overcoming the emptiness of a godless world. He encouraged people to embrace their artistic impulses and rethink traditional values. Dostoevsky and Nietzsche offer very different views on life and finding meaning in a world without God. Dostoevsky, influenced by his Orthodox Christian background, believes that returning to religion can help us find purpose. He thinks love, community, and being good are essential parts of human existence. To him, religion gives us comfort and moral guidance when life gets tough. Nietzsche, on the other hand, thinks we don't need religion or the idea of being naturally good. He wants us to rethink our values and focus on becoming great individuals through our creativity and passions. Instead of following rules, he says we should break free and embrace our true selves. Dostoevsky's writing is aimed at regular folks, especially those facing hardships. He encourages them to find meaning in simple things like love and faith. Nietzsche's audience is more intellectual, targeting thinkers and artists who want to achieve greatness by being creative and bold. Dostoevsky's stories inspire everyday people to find comfort in faith and kindness, while Nietzsche's philosophy challenges elites to push their limits and make big changes in the world. Both thinkers agree that success should be earned, not taken for granted. Their facial hair choices might seem silly, but they actually reflect their ideas. Dostoevsky's beard represents nurturing and warmth, like a friendly dog, while Nietzsche's mustache symbolizes boldness and courage, like a powerful tiger or lion, urging us to face our fears and take charge of our lives. Oh, and there's one more thing I noticed. If you've ever flipped through The Gambler, you might have stumbled upon something, let's just say, a perspective that didn't sit quite right with me. But hey, I'll let you uncover that gem for yourself. Trust me, it's worth the read. Well, that's that. Which philosopher's ideas resonate more with you? Dostoevsky's emphasis on faith and goodness, or Nietzsche's focus on creativity and greatness? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, keep pondering life's big questions